Any questions? No questions. We're gonna go. But a little off camera, speaking with a brother, and he's here now. About his story that he was going into a little bit. And you said you went to detox.
Yes.
Right. I went to detox. For one, I want to get a brother a hand. Brother was dealing with a little drug addiction. He went to detox, going to seek help. Huh? Penn Foundation, where you went?
Yeah.
He went seek help at Penn Foundation. Now the brother is he did what a lot of people need to do, and he did one of the smartest things that he could do, which was to show up in class. Because without the Lord and without brotherhood, like the scriptures say, there's nothing you're going to be able to get through or whatnot. It's okay to go to rehab and go to detox or whatnot. When you get me Ecclesiastes 38:1. Yeah, in the Apocrypha. Water. 38:1. So all that stuff you want to continue to do or whatnot, but the main thing you want to do is to remain in class, because this is without a doubt going to get you where you need to be and get rid of anything that you think that is too hard for you to do or to overcome.
Right.
When you got it, you can read it.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 38 and verse 1. Honor a physician.
Honor a physician. Honor a physician, meaning do whatever the doctor tells you to do. Whatever the doctor wants you to do, the scriptures say honor that or whatnot. Read.
With the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord hath created him. Meaning
he's here for a reason. The Most High created him. When you get a chance, put the cat in the basement. The Lord created a physician for a reason, and he had his purpose. Should you go to the physician and let him talk to you about the Bible? No, that's not what he's made for. He can't tell you nothing about the scriptures. But can he tell you how to fight an illness? Can a physician tell you what to do to overcome something? Yes. That's his purpose. And because the Most High created him for that purpose, he tell you to honor him. Read on.
Verse 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king.
For the Most High cometh healing. When you honor the physician, do what the physician tell you to do. And also keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's how you're going to get through anything that you're going through and whatnot. A lot of people like to think that they can get through things on their own, which you can't. You're not getting through nothing on your own. That's not how it works. Nothing in life you're able to get through on your own. It takes brotherhood to help you get through or whatnot. You might be going through some days where you dealing with something, and a 5-minute phone conversation can fix all that. A 2-minute phone conversation, a 10-second phone conversation can fix all that. And that's what the ISUPK is here for. That's what we built on brotherhood, to help each other. Nothing is too big and nothing is too small to handle or whatnot. So was there anything else you wanted to bring out, brother? Do you got any questions on any scriptures or anything? Yeah. that you might need broken down?
Acts.
Mm-hmm.
I read in Acts. I read in Acts where it says it was speaking speaking about God is not a respecter of persons. It was something sitting up. It's the last Peter. He's telling him to basically eat.
Right.
But he said he's never eaten common, I mean, it's unclean, something. He said, well, God is clean.
Right.
Don't call it, common, unclean. They have that twice. And then, like, towards a little bit further down the scripture, it says that, was it Peter? That he was speaking. There wasn't, I believe
Paul.
It was Paul.
I think you're talking about Paul.
Oh, okay. I know something was big. I had just not into studying like I should be. And it said that he said something about God is not a respecter of persons. And anyone that feared him, and I have to get the scripture. Do you know what the scripture is?
Yeah, he might be talking about the Cornelius.
Acts.
It's in Acts.
I think it's Acts.
I'm talking about
The common and unclean, the Cornelius scripture. That's what he paraphrasing.
oh, okay. What's that Acts?
Then Peter's talking about Peter. It says, then Peter opened his mouth. This is Acts chapter 10, verse 34.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
It says,
So that's it.
Peter opened his mouth and said, of the truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons, but in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Every nation, every nation. Like,
Nope. So pull that, Yediah. We'll go into that.
Cornelius from Tucker.
No, you can start at is Acts 12. He started at 30.
10:34.
Start at 34.
10 to 34?
Yeah, come 10 and 34.
Okay. This is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons.
Meaning what? Of a truth, I received that God is no respecter of person. Meaning what? What that mean?
He respected the person. I believe to my understanding that he don't basically, if I'm not mistaken, it's like I'm not, because you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't say anything wrong.
Yeah, no sweat. And this is the whole point of class. So whatever, you could just say it. If it's wrong, I'll let you know. If it's not, I'll let you know. Don't never feel like I don't want to be wrong, because that's just the whole point of class, so we can learn. So being a respected person is he don't care about your status, how much money you have, how famous you are. Like the Sadducees and Pharisees was respect of persons.
Right.
Here in America, as of today, they respect of persons. So meaning, depending on how much money this person got, he might not go to jail. You got two people here that committed the same crime. He's poor, he's rich. He's not going to go to jail because he's rich or who his father is or what's his status. He's going to go to jail because of he's poor. He's nobody. Lil Wayne in New York got caught with a gun and did 2 years, when in New York, that's a mandatory 5. T.I. got caught with 10 machine guns and should have did 30 years, but he got a year. And that's because of who they are. Those judges are respective persons. So meaning the Most High is not going to respect you because of how much money you got. He don't care about that. He don't care of who your father was, or he don't care about, you know, how famous you are in this world. That don't mean nothing to him. What means something to the Most High is what are you doing and what are you not doing? If you doing what he told you to do, that's what means something. But you got people who was committing sin, and because of who they were, wasn't getting punished for it. That's respect of person. And right here, read it again.
Come. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. God
don't care about your status. He don't care who you are. What he care about is what you do. Read.
Come. Verse 35. But in every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him.
In every nation, he that feareth him and worketh righteousness is accepted in him. Somebody tell me what that means. All right, and raise your hand too. Just raise your hand. Go ahead.
What I thought it meant was that every nation, in reference to the nations, like, not Ephraim, like the 12 tribes of Israel, as well as other nations too, that
Right.
accept his truth and his word.
Right.
Try to serve him with their heart.
Right.
That's what I thought it meant.
Right. Cool. But of course, that's not what it means. What else? Anybody else? On what it means? Out of every nation.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Every nation that fear of him and worketh righteousness is accepted with him. Go ahead, Yedai.
James 1:1.
That's where I was going to go to. Read.
This is the book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting.
To the 12 tribes which are what?
Scattered abroad.
The 12 tribes is scattered abroad, meaning the 12 tribes are scattered abroad, meaning out everywhere. They're scattered everywhere. So out of every nation in the face of this earth is Israelites. You got Israelites in there. So how can I give an example? Give me the scripture where it says, where shall he go amongst the Gentiles to teach the Jews?
That's in Matthew.
And get me Hosea 6 and 6. Okay, hold on. Is it Hosea 6 and 6? Okay, where? Okay, that's not it, Hosea. All right, get the one in Matthew while I find this one in Hosea.
Come on.
Hosea 8 and 8.
No, John's, I think it's 7 and 35.
All right, pull that.
This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that he shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Now, just to give you a little backstory, Christ was talking about leaving, and his disciples was trying to figure out what he was talking about. So they was asking a question like, where shall he go? Is he's going to go amongst the Gentiles? Read it again.
Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go unto the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Where's the, okay, that's John 7 and 35. Okay, read that again. Because read that again. Okay, I think mine's is getting something different.
This is the book of John, chapter 7 and verse 35. Then said the Jews among themselves, whither will he go, that we shall not find him? Will he go into the dispersed among the Gentiles and teach the Gentiles?
Right, will he go into the dispersed amongst the Gentiles? What is the dispersed? The dispersed is the lost 12 tribes of Israel. Is he going to go amongst them and teach the Gentiles? Read. Is there any more on that? That's it. Give me Hosea 8 and 8.
This is the book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 8. Israel is swallowed up. Now shall they be among the Gentiles as a vessel wherein is no pleasure.
So meaning Israel is swallowed up and they shall be amongst the Gentiles. Israel is going to be amongst the Gentiles. That's where we're going to live. Like we live in that. Israel is amongst all nations. Not saying in the sense of how a lot of people like to say that even if you look at this this oppressor, the so-called white man, he could be a Jew. You never know, because Israel is in all nations. That's not what it's talking about. Are we in America? Yeah. Are we in Africa? Are we in Asia? Russia? Israel is amongst all those nations. But you're going to know who are the Israelites. It's not talking about someone who yeah, he looked like an African, but he possibly a Jew. That's not what it's talking about. So Israel being in all nations just simply means that we're dispersed, meaning we live living among, which is proof. So the scripture you talking about when it say that, you know, anyone who accept him, meaning anyone out of all nations, is because we in all nations, we are allowed, because of Christ, we can come back and we could come back and we can, you know, keep the traditions and the law, statutes, and commandments of our forefathers or whatnot. We was cast off, but now we got a chance to come back, no matter what nation you in, no matter what nation you follow. You know, last one, get me the one in Acts where it talks about, I think it's Acts 2, where it talks about the
Acts 2:5.
Give me that one.
Come. This is the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 5.
You had it queued up already on point.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 2 and verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men out of every nation under heaven.
Devout men out of every nation under heaven, meaning what? These were Jews that were devout men out of every nation under heaven. What is every nation under heaven?
Every nation.
Every nation, every race on the face of this earth, there were Jews that was devout men that was from out of all those nations. Read.
Khan. Verse 6. Now, when this was noised abroad, the multitude came together and were confounded, because that every man heard them speak in his own language. Right.
Now, this is going to go into all the languages that each of these Jews spoke. And each of these devout men, or these devout Jews that came out of all nations, spoke different language. They all spoke different type of language. Let's read a couple of them.
Come. Verse 7. And they were all amazed and marveled, saying one to another, Behold, are not all these which speaks Galileans? And how every man in his own tongue wherein we were born. Mm-hmm. Verse 9. Parthians and Medes and Elamites and the dwellers in Mesopotamia and in Judea and in Cappadocia and Pontus and Asia.
Read.
Pergia and Parthenia, Egypt and all parts of Libya about Caesarea, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
Now, these are all Jews that spoke these languages that came out of all these nations. Why? Because we were living amongst them because of captivity. And when we living amongst them, we start taking on their customs and traditions. Right. We start speaking their language. We start following their laws. We start doing what they do, which made us a part of their nation. Like as of today, we're considered African Americans. Right. We Jews from the 12 tribes of Israel. But right now in captivity, we're considered African Americans, but we're not African Americans. We're not Americans. Right. You know, we are Israelites or Jews that come out of every nation. So meaning we coming out of America, some of them coming out of Spain, all nations that's not considered of the 12 tribes. That's where you can find us at, because that's where we living at. So anyone who living amongst those nations who hear the word of the Most High and hear the truth and accept the truth, they can be accepted back. Because at one point in time, you was cast off and you wasn't accepted back. Christ came. Now, if you accept the truth and you want to come back to the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, you can now, and you will be accepted, regardless of where you from, what traditions you kept in the past, who you followed in the past, what God you served in the past. Now you have a chance to come back and serve the one true living God, regardless of what nation you are, meaning what customs or traditions you followed at one point. At one point, all of us in here, before we knew that we were the 12 tribes of Israel, we was living like Americans. Right. We was eating their food. We was sleeping with their women. We was doing their drugs. We was however you want what. we was dressing like them. We speaking their language. Now we know we Israelites. What we can do? Come back. We can learn our true language, which is Hebrew. We can stop, following after the customs or traditions of, the nation we was living amongst, which is America, such as Christmas, Easter, Thanksgiving. We ain't following those traditions no more, which makes you an American. That makes you an American, and if you're an American, you are considered from the nation of America.
Right.
So we're no longer that anyway. So once we heard this word and understood who we are accepted back, versus because we was cast off and we sinned before, it ain't no coming back. Now Christ gave us another chance to come back, regardless of where you are or who you are. That don't matter now. So when it talks about when it talks about all nations, is talking about the Israelites living amongst those nations who want to hear the word and accept it. Go ahead.
All right, that was it too.
Go ahead.
This is Acts chapter 21 and verse 20. Let's start at verse 20.
Perfect.
And when they heard it, they glorified the Lord and said unto him, Thou seest, brother, how many thousands of Jews there are which believe and are zealous of the law, and they are informed of thee. Thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles.
Teach all the Jews which are among the Gentiles. We do it today, every Friday and Saturday, all over the world. We're doing street speakings. Who are we teaching amongst? All nations. As we out there teaching, all nations are walking by. But we not teaching them. We teaching the Jews that's walking amongst those nations who don't know that they Jews yet and might hear this word and wake up to being a Jew. Read. And when I say Jew, I'm talking about all 12 tribes. Because at one point, Jew meant Judah, Benjamin, and Levite. And then it later on became a term where a Jew just means any of the 12 tribes. So when I say Jew, I ain't just talking about a specific tribe. I'm talking about all the 12 tribes. So read.
And they're informed of thee, that thou teachest all the Jews which are among the Gentiles to forsake Moses, saying that ought not to circumcise their children, neither to walk after the customs.
Right. Read.
Verse 22. What is it therefore? The multitude must needs to come together, for they will not hear thou art come.
And then last thing too, get me Gentile in the Bible Compact Dictionary and get me Hellenist or Grecian. We're going to go into the definition too, to know that, because some of these words, like I say, as of today, a lot of people are Israel, but still would be called an American. And that's just something we always did. Us as Black people or Israelites, we got a thing where we identify you as based off of what you acting like or who you acting like. Go ahead, you got a definition?
This is the Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary, page 195. Gentiles, nation, people. Usually it means a non-Israelite people.
Usually it means a non-Israelite people. At one point, it meant a Gentile is a non-Israelite people. Read.
It says, under conditions of peace, considerate treatment was accorded Gentiles by the Israelites under Old Testament law.
Okay, so that's it on that. Get me the Hellenist.
Hellenist.
Gentile usually means a non-Israelite. Now, hold on. In Gentile, it should say further down that they later on referred it to Israelites who followed the customs. Do you see that in there?
Oh, Lord,
If not, just go to Hellenist.
Hellenists. Jews who made Greek their tongue and with it adopted Greek ideas and practices.
Right. So Hellenists, or in the Bible, you would read it. It was in the New Testament. They would call them Greeks or Grecians, meaning these are Jews who made Greek their tongue. So because these Jews live like the Greeks or the heathens, they started to call them that. So if you want to keep the traditions and you want to keep the customs of the Greeks, they would no longer identify you as a Jew. They would call you a Greek. And that's just something that we all did. Now, when Christ come for the Greeks, and when Paul and Peter came for the Greeks, he ain't come for the heathen Greeks. He came for the Greeks. He came for the Jews that spoke Greek, the Jews that kept the customs and the tradition of the Greeks. That's who he came. So he came for the Jews out of the Greek nation. Then he came for the Jews who wanted to live like the Egyptians, who kept the customs and traditions of the Egyptians, wanted to follow Christmas. He haircuts. He came for those type of Jews. You kept the customs and the traditions of another nation. They will identify you as that nation, and no longer you're in whatever nation you really are. You will be considered the other nation that you follow. Those are the people who Christ came to bring back to the Father. Is there any more?
No, that's it.
That's it? All right, so cool. Is that answer your question, brother? If you got any more, or good for now?
No, I don't. I asked about that because, to be honest with you, I was told that in certain. I was told I used to go to the Israelite Church of God, Jesus Christ too, and I was told that it's certain women that we can deal with, certain ones we can't.
And that's the white or the red or white ones?
I was shown that. I read that in I believe it's First Kings.
Are they the ones that read white? I mean, that wear all white?
Well, to be it's like it was a few white women that I had.
Oh, GOCC.
GOCC, is that it?
I don't think so.
No, hold on. Say the initials again.
I read something was shown to me at the detox out of First Kings.
Oh, okay. I know exactly what you're talking about.
About Solomon, how many wives he had, and then he dealt with his slaves who had strange women.
Right.
Women that is, basically accepted with God and responsibility. And it's the Edomites, I was told, like white people or Caucasian, they found the Edomites, and it said that basically, from what I understood out of First Kings, that those who were not, he shouldn't have been dealing with it.
Right, okay. So from the understanding, they showed you.
I read First Kings.
Right.
The reason why I did detox because we are not mandatory, and I spent a lot of time reading, studying, praying. They had to go to meetings there too.
Right.
I still read the Bible, and I read that. Keep up on reading. I believe God showed that to me for reading. I would then return to Acts 10, chapter 10. I read there about what Peter said. And that's why I had to ask you about that. Everything there.
Right. And you said, and that was because, in your time, you had a couple heathen women. Wasn't a couple white women?
Yeah.
Okay, and they showed you in detox what? That it was wrong?
No, they didn't show me nothing.
Oh, you came across it yourself.
I read it. Nothing there. I came across.
Hey, Shalom. Oh, all right, go ahead. I'm listening, brother.
Yeah, that's what I read First Kings. The reference when it's speaking about Solomon. And I was just reminded that, a law is a fixed or an established principle that will operate the same way every time it's used. Not mean that like one of the laws of God, not dealing with certain women.
Right.
I read in Acts chapter 10 that. So this is I asked you about.
Right. Okay, because it confused you a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. Because if you read something in First Kings that said you couldn't deal with certain women, but in Acts, it seemed like it said you could, so that confused you. Got you. Perfect. I mean, that's good thing you came to class to get the clarification of it and whatnot. Bahaya, you had any questions?
Lots.
All right, cool. So is that it on the questions, brother? Or?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, because any other questions you come up with, just feel free to ask. All right, we're gonna get into topic. I'm about to send you these stories too. That one you sent me, that was heavy. Let's go into that one first. The one you just sent me about the power plant. To show you how the Lord works. Because hold on, let me I'm gonna get these stories and I'm gonna send these to you real quick. Bear with me run real quick. All right, you get the stories? All right, let's go into the one that you just sent me earlier, because this is something that needs to be talked about. Because just like I went into last time, that we've been saying for years, many years, about the laws of the Most High. And of course, we know that this is the law class or whatnot. So we're going to go into the law. And for years, we've been going into the law on what we can do and what we can't do according to the Most High. We go out every week and we let everybody know, everybody as in the 12 tribes of Israel, what the Most High require of them. What is the whole duty of man? And we bring the people back, and then every now and then the Most High have to do something where he slap you around, where he give you a wake-up call, and where he show that his prophets is real, and he shows that when he got his prophets out on the street telling you, you should take heed to and listen. And it's sad that so often that, you got to get a spanking in order for you to at least hopefully wake up. All phones on mute. All right, so we got this article. Pull that article.
Come. South Dakota pork plant closes after 200 workers contract COVID-19.
Read that one more time.
Come. South Dakota pork plant closes after 200 workers contract COVID-19.
Get me in Leviticus, the 11th chapter, where it talks about the pork. South Dakota plant pork. That's what it's called.
Come. Oh, the Smithfield plant.
Smithfield plant.
Yeah, Smithfield.
Smithfield plant closes because 200 of their workers caught the coronavirus. And eating pork is right. Which makes it so heavy because the general, he said this Monday, most of the things, all of the things that you get the coronavirus from, especially foods, is all coming from unclean things. They're not shutting down any farms with cows or chickens, turkeys, a salmon farm. They're not shutting down those type of things, saying it's a danger to continue to produce them and to sell them because of the risk of passing out the COVID-19 from these animals. They're shutting down all unclean businesses. The seafood business is not coming in America as of now because of the risk of catching the COVID-19. And now in South Dakota, 200 workers just got the coronavirus, to where they had to shut down the whole plant-filled pork business. You cannot say that's not of the Lord. You cannot say that's not of the Lord.
Right.
About and give me the scripture in Leviticus about the pig. You got it? You died. You died. Listen, read that when you get it.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 11 and verse 7. And the swine, though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud, he is unclean to you.
The swine is unclean to you. It's in the Bible. Multiple times. The pig is unclean to you. And the pig it's even something that they gave us back in slavery, man. They gave us back in slavery, such as the pig feet, the chitlins, pig head, all that. They gave us the worst parts in slavery and made y'all love them. No part of the pig is good. The Most High said that the pig is unclean to as much as, read.
Oh God. Verse 8. Of their flesh shall ye not eat.
Don't touch their flesh, read.
And their carcass shall ye not touch.
You shouldn't even touch their carcass. Not only the pig is unclean, you shouldn't even touch the pig carcass. That's how much the Most High is telling you to stay away from the pig. Pigs have their purpose. Pigs are on this earth just like every other thing to serve a purpose. And to be eaten is not one of them. Because y'all so in love with America and love your oppressor so much and follow after his traditions, y'all do whatever he wants you to do. So if he makes you feel like the pig is clean or the pig is good to eat, you eat it. Like, which I could never understand, right? Even when I was in the world, I could never understand how can you take this body part and you gotta clean it, get all the feces out of it, to where as though it got your whole house smelling horrible. You hours to cook it. You got to marinate it to make sure the smell is out of it just to eat it. Something that whole feces. I never understood, like, why is that? And that's just something that was given to us for hundreds of years, to where as though we still carrying them same traits as of today, because our oppressor make us feel like this is good to eat. So now at every holiday event, you gotta have chitlins. You gotta have chitlins. You want to start early cooking them because they smell bad. Hey, your whole house smelling horrible. You gotta drench them in hot sauce. Like, I just never understood that. And the Most High said they flesh and they carcass you shouldn't even touch.
Right.
But yet in South Dakota, they got a plant field, a whole business, based off of selling swine's flesh, to the point where 200 workers caught the coronavirus. Meaning, because them 200 workers caught that coronavirus, the whole business got to shut down. That's of the Lord.
Right.
That's of the Lord. Go ahead, brother.
I believe about that and considered thought about. I was sharing with my parents that the coronavirus, they labeled us in advance as a virus, but I believe it's a form of plague from God, basically for wicked.
Oh, we getting into that tonight. You hit it right on point.
Right.
That's exactly what I was going to tonight, because this is a plague from the Most High.
Right.
A plague. It's undeniable. You have the senators, you have the president, you have every saying, and I don't even think they notice they saying it. They do a speech, and somewhere in that speech they say, well, this is a plague. Like a few weeks ago, we played where one of the senators was crying, saying that this is a plague that God sent, and he got a pastor up there praying, saying, get rid of this plague. Every wicked pastor you see praying on TV says this coronavirus or this plague gotta go. Everybody knows this is a plague. They know this is a plague. This is definitely a plague from the Most High. It's definitely a plague from the Most High for the wickedness that we're doing. Remember, they started out at first saying that black people couldn't get it because the melanin in their skin or something protecting them from the coronavirus. And then what happened last week? Who was it? The Attorney General came out and said that the most people affected by this are the Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. They are dying the most. Trump came out and said that they are prepared for weeks to come for the coronavirus to have, for the deaths to spike high through the roofs, especially in Philadelphia. Meaning the niggas is about to get it bad. They about to get it bad. For some reason, this coronavirus don't like niggas. Niggas as in Hispanics, Native American, Indians, and blacks. For some reason, this coronavirus is against you. And they say it all the time. It's against black people for a reason. And of course, they don't know why. They got scientists in the lab trying to figure out, what's going on or why is it like this. They don't have the answers. You can stay up all night, all you want, and try to, run tests and have little lab rats and do all this type of chemical things and research all you want, and you're never going to find an answer. And whatever answer they come up with is never right. How do we know it's never right? Because when they think they got an answer, based off that answer, they try to create an antidote or a vaccine. And when it don't work, back to square one. Because it's only one way to stop this, and we're going to get into that tonight. Read some of the article.
Come. About 240 employees at the plant contracted the virus, making up over half of the state's positive cases.
From this one business, half of South Dakota have the coronavirus based off this one business. 240 of people of this business got the coronavirus at a pork plant field or a plant field pork business, however they want to say it, would shut the business down, which means what? They can't even sell pork out their business no more.
Right.
Why? Because if the employees that's working there got the coronavirus, then it have to be in the pork, which makes it so heavy because certain animals, such as like a bat, for an example, a bat normally have a fever of 114. Like that's the fever of a bat. Like that's normal. Like pigs can't get sick. You can't even tell if they're sick or not. Like pigs don't sweat. Pigs can get bit by the most venomous snake in the world and still live. It won't affect them. You can't run tests on a pig and find out if it's sick or not. You can't do it. They won't run tests on anything for the coronavirus unless it's showing symptoms because they don't want to waste any of the tests. A pig or seafood such as like shrimps and crab and lobsters is not going to show any signs of the coronavirus because viruses like that, they are immune to it. A bat is not going to show any signs of the coronavirus because they're immune to it. The coronavirus living in the bat is natural. It's how it functions. That's normal. A bat with the coronavirus don't mean it's sick. That's just, it lives in them. That's just something that it carries. So certain animals you can't even tell. So on the safe side, we cannot sell any more pork. Right. Why? Because 240 employees got the coronavirus, which means that it's definitely in that pork. They're not going to waste their money on a bunch of dead goddamn pigs to run tests to see if they got the coronavirus. Let's take the easy way and just not sell anything in South Dakota. And no pork in South Dakota. And the pork that they are selling is going to put fear in the people's heart to eat it. Damn, you heard about the building over there? 240 employees got the coronavirus. Yeah, and that's the pork business? Yeah, I think I'm going to chill on that. Like I went into last week. Never in my life have I heard so many people scared to smoke weed now. Like, I know so many people that's quitting right now or delaying taking time off now because of the articles coming out saying that the coronavirus, if you catch it, you're going to need your lungs. If you smoke weed, you're damn near guaranteed to catch the coronavirus. And when you catch it, your symptoms are going to be worse than a person who got the coronavirus and don't smoke. You're going to feel like you're dying when you get the coronavirus. And it's almost guaranteed you're going to die if you get the coronavirus and you smoke weed. Versus a person who don't smoke, get the coronavirus, and could just sit in a house, quarantine, and just get over it. You are going to have to stay in the hospital for 2 weeks, hooked up to machines and breathing machines and tubes down your throat because you smoke weed and your lungs is not going to be strong enough. And guess what? The coronavirus know your lungs not strong enough and it attacks it. It starts all up here, and when it notices your lungs is not strong enough, it attacks it. It spreads to your lungs faster because it knows that your body is weak. It knows you have no defense mechanism or no defense wall built up because all the weed smoke over all the years then broke all that down. The protection that you got in your lungs, the healthy bacteria, the healthy germs that you have in your lungs to protect it from the antibodies you got in your lungs to protect you from foreign bodies getting into your body, which makes you sick. When a foreign body gets into your body, that's how you get sick. But the antibodies you got in your body to help fight off those foreign bodies that come in, those foreign germs, is not there no more because you got 20 years of smoking. You got 2 weeks of smoking. And now the 99% defense wall you got up within 2 weeks then drop down to 70%. You get the coronavirus know that your lungs is weak and it spreads to your lungs faster. What's stopping it? Nothing. You done got rid of everything from all the goddamn drugs you're doing. Which means what? You're going to feel like you're dying. You're going to have to go to the hospital. You're going to be hooked up to tubes. You're going to be isolated longer. And if the Lord not with you, you're going to die. It's damn near guaranteed. You're going to die from smoking so goddamn much and being on the coronavirus. And then I got another thing for you too. You can never smoke a day in your life. Eat pork for 20 years and catch the coronavirus. You're going to feel like you're dying and you're going to die. Let's read a little bit of the article.
According to Smithfield, who runs the plant, the facility's output represents up to 5% of U.S. pork production.
5% of U.S. pork production comes from this building. Read.
Supplying 130 million servings of food a week and employing 3,700 people.
100 and how much servings?
130 million.
130 million servings come from this building. 5%. 5% might seem like a small number.
It's the biggest one.
And it's the biggest one, right? And 5%, it's the biggest one, and it might seem like a small number. You want to take a risk of going into the market, buying some pork, not knowing that this coming from South Dakota? You really think when that market get that shipment from South Dakota, they're going to keep the stamp on it, letting you know they got it from South Dakota, so you won't buy this pork? So they going to go out of business if you don't buy this. You really think they're going to let you know they got this from South Dakota, or they're going to put it in their market and not let you know? Because you might know South Dakota, which had the biggest shipment of the pork supply in the world, got laid off of half of their workers for the coronavirus. I'm standing in this market about to buy this pig feed. It don't say where it came from. I don't know if it came from South Dakota. Do I want to take a risk of buying this, knowing that this might have the coronavirus in it? If you do, Lord be with you. Read.
Over 550 independent farmers supplied the plant. The company that runs the plant, Smithfield Foods, announced the closure of its plant in Silence Falls, South Dakota on Sunday, after the state's governor, Kristi Noem, asked the company to suspend the plant's operation for at least 14 days. The number of employees who work at the plant contracted the virus make up over half of the state's positive cases.
Meaning half of the people in the state who got the coronavirus come from this one pork plant based business. Half of the people in South Dakota comes from this building. Read.
About 240 employees from the plant have contracted the virus. The company said in a press release that the plant furloughed employees will be compensated for the next 2 weeks. In a statement, Smithfield's chief executive, Kenneth Sullivan, warned of severe repercussions to the meat supply chain if more manufacturing plants see similar spreads of COVID-19.
Read that one more time.
In a statement, Smithfield's chief executive, Kenneth Sullivan, warned of severe repercussions to the meat supply chain if more manufacturing plants see similar spreads of COVID-19.
Repercussions. He's warning you. If more businesses see the same thing, which they're going to, and he know it. That's why he's warning them. He's warning them because he know that more pork supplying businesses are going to see the same thing. Why does building get hit with the COVID-19 so hard? Because it can live in pigs. It's a virus that got to get transferred from animals to humans. It lives in bats. And what's the other animal that they was eating over in China that it lives into?
Rats.
It was rats, and it was something else. It looked like anteaters.
Penguin.
Huh?
It's called the penguin.
That's what it. That's what it is. Say it again.
The penguin.
The pangolin. The pangolin. Those are the two animals that lives with the coronavirus in them, and they was the two biggest ones that was getting eaten over in China. It's more animals. Remember, the tiger just came out that was positive for it.
Right. It's
more animals that got it. It hit that South Dakota building so hard because the coronavirus can live in pigs. And it's no way for them to tell because a pig is just going to have it and just seem normal. But the thing is that the workers in there caught it so hard too because the Lord is shutting down all wickedness right now. That's why I said, if this slow up and everything goes back to normal, how could you stand in front of the prophets of the Lord and still say that smoking weed and eating pork is lawful when this pandemic we going through is showing otherwise? Like, if you don't sit back and say, damn, if this is something that God is for, why is it affecting us like this? Why is it hitting us so hard like this? Like, you can't stand in front of me and tell me that smoking weed is good after this. All my arguments, all my battles, my weed battles, I'm pulling. It's going to be 10 years from now. They can get rid of the COVID-19, right? And it can exist no more. 10 years from now, you battle me. If Christ not back in 10 years and you battle me on smoking weed, I'm pulling an article from 2020. In 2030, I'm pulling an article from 2020 that talks about the COVID-19 and weed smoking.
Right.
And you're going to have to explain that to me. That's all we're going to focus on. You're going to have to explain the COVID-19 and smoking weed from this point on. You're going to have to explain that to me. You can't explain that to me. It's no conversation. We have no debate. Just point blank period. If you're a weed smoker and want to debate on smoking weed, you have to explain this. If you can't, then don't even say nothing to me from this point on. And pork too, and seafood. Is there any more in the article?
A little bit more. Experts say U.S. consumers should not be necessarily worried about food shortages in the near future. Mm-hmm. Storage level of staples, including chicken and beef and soybeans, were high before the virus hit full force.
Oh, say that again?
Come. Experts say U.S. consumers should not be necessarily worried about food shortages in the near future. Storage levels of staples, including chicken, beef,
lobster,
and soybeans, were high before the virus hit full force.
Chicken, beef, and soybeans. Why didn't it say lobster, shrimp? That's
bad.
Why didn't it say bats? And what's the other animal?
Pangolin.
Why didn't it say the pangolin? Why did it name chicken, beef, and soybeans? I love some chicken, beef, and soybeans. I'm not gonna lie.
Right.
Love me a little bit of that. Why didn't it say that? It mentioned lawful things were high before this hit. Because the COVID-19 is not shutting down chicken farms. It's not.
Right.
It's not shutting down cow farms.
Right.
It's not affecting farms that's growing soybeans and carrots and cabbage and goats. It's not affecting sheep farms. You're not hearing none of that. You hearing pig factories. You hearing seafood factories, and you hearing pangolins, whatever factories are getting shut down left and right because of the COVID-19. If it ain't affecting the food, it's affecting the workers, which means it is affecting the food, because once the workers get sick, you can't even sell the food no more. They can't sell nothing out of South Dakota, no pork products out of South Dakota now. Why? Because 240 workers had the coronavirus. Who the hell want anything from there? The way that black people wearing these masks and gloves, they ain't taking them from South Dakota. You got to be bold to do that. Is it any more? That's it? Give me the next story.
CDC director warns coronavirus may occur seasonally.
One more time.
CDC director warns coronavirus may reoccur seasonally.
Meaning the coronavirus may come every year. And I hope it do.
Right.
I hope it do. Because, listen, if it come every year, you know what that means? Free money every year they're going to have to give us. Which means more liquor.
Right.
Which means more time. Of course, more tides.
Right.
It's glorious, man, in these times, man. Now it's every time. Okay, this time of the year, every year, or whenever the coronavirus hit, you ain't got to worry about getting pulled over, racial profiling. You know, you could take off from your slave, just kick back, still get paid, and just rest. You can drink, spend time with your family, spend time with the brothers, more work to help build the nation. Like this is the perfect time, especially to put the work in, man, because of what's going on. This is like the perfect time to fish, because it's going to be someone that's affected by this, and just do it with wisdom and season. You can know how to pull brothers in based off of the situation they're going through. Times like this is the times that I live for to see in the truth, man, because it's like you can thrive in times like this, man, because it's nonstop work of you taking opportunities like this and pulling brothers in, man. Pulling brothers in. If you really about your people and really about your nation and put this work in, times like this is the perfect time, man. Like I said, it's people that's affected by the coronavirus or that smoke weed and will get affected by the coronavirus, and you have a way to stop that. You have the answer. You are the only person that have the answer to stop this brother from dying. You got to capitalize off that, man. You know, it's going to be times in the truth where there's going to be opportunities for you to fish brothers in and pull brothers into the truth. Now is one of those times. You know somebody that's smoking weed? Listen, you pull out all these articles and go to them. Go pull out the proof. This is the perfect time to pull brothers into this school. This is the perfect time to fish them, man. Regardless of your rank and your status, you got to go full force, pull them into the school now. I mean, you want to put in some work? You want some work to be done? Listen, it's a lot of weed heads out there. We all know weed heads. and drug addicts and seafood eaters. Take advantage of this. You believe in the Bible, right? Well, what you think about when the Bible say about this scripture about not eating pork? Oh, you think you can eat pork? Well, what about this article that, listen, I'm trying to get y'all the game. You know what I mean? You had your hand up, brother?
Yes, sir. There's a parable in Matthew 22. I wanted to ask you if you could help me to understand that a little clearer.
Mm-hmm.
If I might have wrong understanding. And it says, and Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables and said,
Oh, what verse you at?
verse 22, starting from verse 1.
All right, cool. Go ahead.
And Jesus answered and spake unto them again by parables and said, the kingdom of heaven is like unto a certain king which made a marriage for a son, and sent forth his servants to call them that were bidden to the wedding, and they would not come. Again he sent forth other servants, saying, tell them which are bidden, behold, I prepared my dinner, my oxen and my fatlings are killed, and all things are ready. Come into the marriage. Verse 5. But they made light of it, and went their ways, one to his farm, another to his merchandise, and the women took his servants, and entreated them spitefully, and slew them. But the king heard thereof, he was wroth. And he sent forth his armies and destroyed those murderers and burned up their city.
Mm-hmm.
Then said he to his servants, the wedding is ready, but they which are bidden were not worthy. Go ye therefore into the highways. And my question is reference to what I'm reading right now.
Mm-hmm.
It said, go ye therefore to the highways, and as many as ye shall find, bid to the marriage. So those servants went out into the highways and gathered together all as many as they found, both bad and good. And the wedding was furnished with guests.
Right. So what was your question about that?
This, when I just said it gathered both bad and good.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and like on the highways, just all kinds of people that, from different nations that travel the highways. And that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Right. Going into the highways, it goes into what we was going into earlier. The highways and the byways, you could use a precept for this. Going to the highways and the byways, meaning this. You familiar with the camp speakings, the street speakings we do every Friday and Saturday. You might see us out on the streets teaching.
Nice to see y'all on 125th Street in New York.
125th Street, right. 125th Street, Harlem, New York. So you're familiar with it, right?
Yeah.
In Jerusalem, which is Harlem, right? That's the highways and the byways, meaning go into the streets and teach. Now we are in the streets teaching. And there is every nation walking up and down the street. But because they're every nation walking up and down the street, who are we out there for? Get me book of Matthew where it says, into the city of the Samaritan, enter ye not.
That's Tennessee.
Yep. We out there in the highways teaching. And every nation is out there in the highways. But because every nation is out there in the highways, don't mean we talking to every nation.
Right.
We have to be out there in the highways talking, even though every nation is out there, because we understand that our nation is out there too. And we know that our nation is going to hear what we're saying. These heathens ain't going to hear. And if they do, so the hell what? You believe Jesus is black, Chinese man? Okay, so the hell what? That means nothing to me. What means something to me is that this brother believes Jesus is black. And he want to keep the law, statutes, and commandment. You saying you giving up shrimp, crab, and lobster? So what? What the hell that means to me? He needs to give it up.
Right.
Why? Because he's dying when he don't give it up.
Right.
You're not going to die if you don't give up shrimp, crab, and lobster. But he will. So he means more to me then you give it up some shrimp, crab, and lobster. You can eat all the shrimp, crab, and lobster you want for the rest of your life, Mr. Chinese man. That ain't gonna mean a goddamn thing. But let him eat it. That means something. You got the scripture?
Look at the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 5. These 12 Jesus sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles.
Christ sent forth his 12 disciples and told them, don't go into the way of the Gentiles. Read.
And into any city of the Samaritans enter ye not.
Any city of the Samaritans enter ye not. If Christ wanted to come for every nation, why is he telling them don't go unto the Samaritans or to the Gentiles? He should have said, yo, just go unto the Gentiles and the Samaritans. He said, don't go into the Samaritans or the Gentiles. In any city of the Samaritans, don't even enter in. If you know that city is full of Samaritans, don't even go there. Read.
Verse 6. But go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Go rather unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Is the lost sheep of the house of Israel living amongst the Samaritans? Yes. Are they living amongst the Gentiles? Yes. So what is Christ talking about when he say, don't go into the Gentiles or the city of the Samaritans? Go ahead.
Saying don't go to the so-called oppression. Don't go to these other nations, like the Chinese man, Arab man. Just go to blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
Right. Don't go to them trying to teach them anything.
Right.
We read where Israel is living amongst the Gentiles and the Samaritans. They're living amongst them. And he told them, don't go to them. Don't go to any city of the Samaritans. Meaning what? Don't go in there trying to teach them any goddamn thing, man.
Right.
Don't go. What are you going there trying to teach them for? For what? Go into the lost sheep. He said lost sheep, meaning these brothers is lost and they need you. By them being lost, they need you. Go unto them. What are you going into some Gentiles or some Samaritans for, trying to teach them? When you got lost brothers that's living amongst them, that's who you go unto. They don't need your help. They fine. They got their reward. Their reward is here on earth. They got their reward. They own the whole goddamn globe. What you want to go to them for? When you got your brother living amongst them, trying to be like them, and still on the bottom.
Right.
Jay-Z is a damn billionaire, and he's still nothing compared to the other billionaires.
Right.
Still nothing compared. He ain't nothing. He can't even sit amongst them. When he sit amongst them, he got to pitch an idea to make them money. If not, he can't sit amongst them and have lunch. When he sit amongst them and have lunch, it's business. Strictly business. They not his friends. They not sitting amongst Jay-Z, who is a black billionaire, talking about, you want to go golf? No. How can you make me money? That's all they care about. What are we going unto them for? When this brother, he's lost. He's working 80 hours a week and barely making ends meet.
Right.
You know, he's the, what they say, first fired, last hired.
Right.
He needs your help. Versus you going into someone who owns
Smithfield Factory.
the Smithfield factory versus going to the people that's working there. Nah. Yeah, it's Israelites living in the city of Samaritan. But guess what? Don't go into the goddamn Samaritans. You're going to go into them Israelites. Is there any more on that?
Well,
And that's it? So go ahead.
if I could, sir, what you bring out was real heavy. And if I could, like, add to the point, like I think the base of what the question was, that I think he's struggling with. When you see good or bad, though, brother, think about everybody in this room. Everybody in this room was in the world, we were deemed to be bad. We were deemed to be, unreconcilable and nothing. There was nearly nothing for us. And the base of the parable is saying that there are few many are called, but few are chosen. The men in this room were the bad amongst the world, but we were chosen. All thanks to the Most High Christ for bringing us to the Israelite school of UPK.
Right, and let's give him a hand for that. Because what he's saying is goddamn on point. I know goddamn I was bad.
Right.
Listen, I'm telling you, I was one of the bads amongst the earth.
Right.
And that's just not talking. Before I came into the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, I was considered one of the bads.
Right.
And I was. I was one of the very bads.
Right.
And that too, it's talking about the good and the bad. You're going to have some good, you're going to have some bad. All of us that's sitting in this room now were once bad. But guess what? We chose the path to become the good now.
Right.
Not to live like the bad. Once we heard the truth and got a full understanding of our purpose and what are we here for, we decided to change the narrative of us being the bad.
Right.
Being the bad as in the sense of now we living like the heathens, living amongst them. We're following after the customs and traditions. Nah, we not doing that no more. Nah, we not doing that. Is it any more? If I'd have did that on the train, they'd have got the hell up and left. I'd have sneezed on the goddamn train, they'd have got the hell up and left. Man, I was on the train earlier. I was telling your diet earlier, man. I was on the train eating some hot chips, ate the hot chips too fast, and was like, everybody was like, whoa, hold up. Yo, I'm like, come on, man, I'm eating some hot chips. They of course turned it into a joke, started laughing like, oh, I was about to say. And I'm thinking like, damn. And they had on masks and gloves.
Right.
I was the only one on there without no mask and gloves, and they still were scared because I sneezed.
Right.
You should be cool with your mask and gloves. And what the hell are you panicking for because I called? I'm sitting there like, damn, is it that serious? Like, yo, y'all really that scared?
Right.
Like, y'all can't really believe y'all living right with God if y'all that scared.
Right.
Like a Christian is so holy until something serious hit.
Right.
Now their faith in God goes out the window. It means nothing now. You said that's it on that scripture, right?
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
All right, but go, you had any more, brother?
No, sir.
Not as of now.
Yes.
All right, cool. All right, let's go into the next story.
Oh, we didn't. I just read the title for that story. I didn't finish the story.
Oh, you ain't finished it?
We didn't go into it.
Oh, we didn't? Oh, all right, let's go into it.
Yeah, we read the title and then actually go into it.
Okay, all right, Most High Christ, let's go into it.
The
And
city.
no questions online, right?
Lots. No
All right, cool.
CDC director warns coronavirus may reoccur seasonally. Dr. Robert Redfield, director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, warned Wednesday that a second wave of COVID-19 infections could hit the United States next winter if the coronavirus pandemic follows a seasonal pattern.
So they looking at it like, yo, it already got certain traits of the flu. And if that's the case, there's a good chance that next winter, we're going to experience the same thing we're doing now. It got certain traits of the flu, but it's more deadlier than the flu, so they saying, even though the flu killed way more people. Within a 4-month time span, 35,000 people die each year of the flu. Coronavirus then killed a couple thousand and they panicking and whatnot. I done had the flu 3 times in my life and whatnot, which is crazy. I think I done had it more than anybody in this goddamn earth. Caught the flu 3 goddamn times, but they say it's a certain strain of the flu, a little worse or whatnot, and they saying depending on, based off of the pattern, next year we could be going into the same thing, which I hope we do, because it benefits us. It benefits us as a nation. Us meaning Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indian. All right, look at the free money that we got, the time off of the slave we got, the time we got to spend with our family. So many benefits that came from this because of the Lord. You should want this every year. And if you live it right, you shouldn't worry about catching it. Shouldn't worry about catching it. I don't cancel none of my plans that I have to do because of the coronavirus. I go through my day normal, how I would go through it as if the coronavirus didn't exist. And if I catch it, I'm just prepared to fight. What else is that? What else is left to do? If I get the coronavirus, I mean, I hope it's as bad as they saying it is, because I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready. If it's as bad as they saying it is, I'll let you know if it is. I'll let you know if it is. But I ain't worrying about catching it. I don't give a damn. I get on public transportation. It's free, which means they're saving me money on Ubers, because everywhere is free, which means it's free to go get the liquor.
Right.
It's free to go get whatever I need. And if I catch it in the process, let's rumble. Let's get it on.
Right.
I go through life warned every day. What, I'm going to fold to the coronavirus? They say it's another strain of the flu. I done caught it 3 times. Let's get it. Got your hand up, bro?
The Most High put on my heart to remind me of, when I got to tell me that because I submit my will to His will and His way of doing things, I don't have to worry about the coronavirus, HIV, asthma, none of that stuff, because it's He's going to take care of it. Plus, I read Psalm 103. Not every morning, like in the mornings when I get up, the first thing I do before I even eat is I stand up and read certain Psalms in the morning. And I don't pray every morning, like I said, because a lot of the Psalms are prayer, but sometimes I pray in the morning. But this is what I do. But one thing for certain, and 2 things for sure, true, because we don't like to worry about the coronavirus. But I had a question for you. It's a scripture in there that's mentioning something about us being allowed to have liquor. I forgot where it's at in there.
It's in the book of Proverbs.
Proverbs?
Yeah, find that for me where it says, give strong drink.
It said, I know it's one here that says, give strong drink to them
That's heavy in the heart. Right.
That's not. But it's another one in there that speaks it in a different manner and not reference to being perishing.
That's Proverbs 31:6.
31:6. Now hold that.
What are you talking about?
Now, to go off what the brother is saying too. Yeah, I don't. This is how, and this is just me personally, right? Me personally. Not saying you have to feel this way, but I feel like this.
That's ready. I'm sorry, I said it wrong. I apologize. It said, give strong drink to him that is ready to perish, and wine to those that be of a heavy heart.
Right.
That's 31:6.
Ready to perish.
Right. I'm gonna go into that. Hold the point real quick. Let me finish this so I won't forget it. Right. This is just me personally. I live my life like normal, not worried about the goddamn coronavirus.
Right.
And I also feel like if I catch it, it's just to show y'all how to get over, how to fight it.
Right.
That's just all. That's how I look at it. You're not gonna see me online how most people do, wheezing hard. Oh man, this is no joke. Nah, you're not gonna see that. I'm gonna be an example to other brothers. This ain't nothing. Out of all the things that I've been through in my life, you expect me to be scared of a coronavirus? You must not know me. You don't know me if you think a coronavirus is going to scare me. Knowing my story and what I went through, it's a million other things I should have been scared of, but I wasn't. And the coronavirus is not going to be the first time I'll be scared of going through an event in my life of dying. Nah, that's not me. But read the Proverbs 31:6, the scripture the brother had.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 31 and verse 6. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
Meaning you're going to have some brothers who is going through something in life and they just ready to die. They're going through certain things that they feel as though they can't handle, certain things that they feel as though it's too much, certain things that they just can't bear with, and they just want to die. They think dying is better than handling this. But the Most High said, what?
Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish.
Give strong drink. Strong drink is liquor. Give that to someone who is ready to die. He want to die. Give him some liquor, man. Listen, give him some strong drink. That's going to change a lot, man. Once you get that little bit of liquor in, you sit around the brothers, laugh and joke, man, you won't forget about that. Pour up a cup. So every time I'm around the brother, I got some liquor on me or something, pour up some liquor. Hey, brother, you want some?
Right.
Because listen, it helps. Alcohol helps. Of course, you can't be a drunkard.
Right.
I mean, but I'm gonna give you a cup. Give you a nice to get you a little buzz, or even to get you drunk. I'm gonna take this cup, bro. You want some? Go ahead, take it. You got it. That's all you right there. I'm gonna give some strong drink to a brother that's going through something. Then you got the brother that's going through something. He calling you, you talking to the brother. You just know this brother is just ready to give up. Hey, brother, where you at? All right, look, I'll be there in 20 minutes. All right, got you. I'm gonna show up with a bottle. If you got a game, if you don't got a game, I'm gonna show up with a bottle and a game system. If you do got a game, I'm gonna show up with a bottle. We're gonna pour a couple two, get a little on, and we're gonna play the game. You don't want to play the game, we're gonna get a little on, we're gonna drink, and we just gonna conversate, we're gonna talk.
Right.
We gonna talk. That's what we gonna do. I'm gonna give strong drink to the brother that's ready to perish. Read.
Oh God. And wine unto those that be of heavy hearts.
And wine to those that be of heavy heart, meaning what? Yediah?
Yeah, so you're gonna give the strong to the brother or the sister that got, something that's heavy on their mind.
It's gonna be something that's heavy that they dealing with, that they feel as though that it's heavy, meaning it's too much for them. They feel as though it's too much, to the point where they feel as though they can't bear it, they can't carry it. It's too heavy. This is an issue that they got that they can't carry. You know what? I'm gonna get them some wine because that's going to hit. That's going to ease it for them. Got your hand up, brother?
Yes, sir. You know what? I believe the Most High helped me understand something. It says, it mentions in Proverbs to give strong drink to them that is ready to perish. But in Exodus 22, this is what I think one of the scriptures that I was talking about, that basically permits us to be able to have living. But it says, thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquids. The first born from thy son shall not. Hold on, time out. Can you help me understand that?
Right. All right. Which chapter and verse you at?
Exodus 22:29.
All right. Somebody pull that up.
It's another scripture I'm thinking that too.
All right. We're gonna take the wall out. Somebody pull Exodus 22 and 29. All right. Cool. Let's grab that.
That's where I started.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 22 and verse 29. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors.
And of thy what?
Liquors.
And of thy liquors. Read.
The firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give unto me.
And what was the question about that?
No, this is not. Still reading this. That basically gave me the impression that there's nothing wrong with drinking liquor.
Right.
But there's something wrong with being drunk.
Right.
Like you said.
It's a sin to be a drunkard, but there's nothing wrong with drinking. You don't want to drink to where as though you pissing on yourself, or you had one cup and then you want to fight everybody in the goddamn club. That's when drinking becomes a sin. Or you drinking and then you want to dance up on that brother's wife. You shouldn't be drinking. That's when drinking becomes a sin. So what you say is nothing wrong with drinking, but just like with everything, it's certain things that is no sin, but you can make it a sin, depending on what you do or how far you take it. Oh, who was holding something for me? Or was we done on was that it?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I got
cool.
another question.
Oh, go ahead.
Zarwai wants to know, can Genesis 17 and 16 be a precept for Sarah being a mother of many nations, although she only had one son?
Let's read it.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 16. This is Genesis chapter 17 and verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations, kings of people shall be of her.
Yeah, of course, because she had one son, right?
Right.
But she's a mother of many nations, meaning what? What was the son she had?
Isaac.
Go ahead.
So Isaac.
Now, out of Isaac, who came Isaac?
Jacob and Esau.
And who came out of Jacob?
12 tribes of Israel.
She's a mother of many nations. She had one son, but out of her son came many nations.
Right.
So yeah, you could use that as a precept. So Sarah, yeah, she had Isaac, but out of Isaac came many other nations. Came Jacob, who had the 12 tribes, and then came Esau, who had his sons. But of course, the mother of many nations that she will be of course, is Jacob, because
Right.
that's the chosen seed. So yeah, Sarah is a mother of many nations because of Isaac and of Jacob, and so forth, so on. So that answered your question. Just let me know if you have any more. Just let me know. So was we done on that article?
Let's take a look at it a little bit more.
All right, cool. Let's read it.
Khan. Redfield said that a resurgence of the virus in the U.S. was likely, but not guaranteed.
I mean, so it's more than likely that the coronavirus is going to happen again, but it's not guaranteed. It's guaranteed. But go ahead.
A study published Tuesday in the journal Science by researchers at Harvard University T.H. Chan School of Public Health found that in the absence of a vaccine, prolonged or intermediate social distancing may be necessary until 2022.
Abahaya, grab me Deuteronomy 28 and 61. Read that last part again.
Prolonged or intermediate social distancing may be necessary into 2022.
They saying prolonging social distancing may be necessary until 2022. That's crazy. Social distance until 2022, just to be on the safe side. This plague, man, is going to be around.
Right.
Plague going to be around, and we're going to get into why. Read the scripture.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 61. Also of every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee.
Every sickness and every plague that's not written in the book of this law, the Most High is going to bring upon you. It's going to be certain plagues and sicknesses that happen that you can't find in the Bible.
Right.
But because you can't find it in the Bible, just know the Most High still brought it upon you. It's still from the Lord.
Right.
The coronavirus is, you're not going to find a scripture that talks about coronavirus. But you're going to find scriptures about the plague, and just know that it's from the Most High.
Right.
This plague came from the Lord. Even though you can't pull a scripture on the coronavirus, it still comes from the Lord. Is there any more?
Until thou be destroyed.
He's going to bring this plague upon you until you be destroyed. And this thing is kicking our ass. This plague is no joke. This plague is no joke. Give me 2nd Esdras 15 and 5. Hold that. This plague is no joke. What? Go ahead.
You know what? You just helped me again. Because in Exodus 28 47.
Mm-hmm.
It says, because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness of heart, with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. Verse 28, therefore shalt thou serve thy enemy, which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And on down, it mentions more to narrow down to what you just got to describe.
Right.
And it comes as a result of not serving the Lord and keeping his commandments.
Right. And which is the reason why we had the coronavirus. When you don't keep the law, statutes, and commandments, and when you don't keep the dietary law, the Most High is going to bring plagues on you that's not written in the book.
Right.
It's not written in the Bible. Because he's no joke. So you don't want to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Guess what? Your grandparents or your child or you are going to be dealing with an illness that they never seen before.
Right.
And it's going to keep happening until it destroys you. Simple as that. And it's one way to stop it. Keep the dietary law. Do what the Most High say. Is there any more in the article? That was it? Let's go to the very last article.
You only sent it two.
I sent you
the second one again. The one that you sent me, you sent it twice.
Okay, all right, cool. So I sent you this. All right, cool. Let me see. Man. So that means I probably didn't come to the listening. Oh, hold on. What was the name of the first one?
I think it was the two. It was the. We're talking about the same thing. Same CDC director. The one was about warns about the coronavirus may occur seasonally, and the second one says the second wave of coronavirus can hit next year. And
oh yeah,
seasonal pattern. It's the same part.
It is. It's the same one. It was another one that I thought I copied where it talked about a second strain of the coronavirus can hit in the summertime. Let me see if I can find that one. But the scripture you heard holding the Bahaya, read that one.
This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction.
Read that one more time.
Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world. The sword, famine, death, and destruction.
The Most High said he's going to bring plagues upon this world. He's going to bring the sword. He's going to bring what else?
Famine, death, and destruction.
He's going to bring famine, death, and destruction. And what else?
That's it, sir.
That's it. What the next verse say?
Verse 6. For the wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth.
Because of the wickedness has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Listen, man, you've been so goddamn wicked to the point where the Most High, like, man, listen, he's going to send a famine. He's going to send a plague upon you. And what is that plague that he's sending? The coronavirus. The coronavirus. It's no coincidence that they're saying it's affecting Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indians the most. It's affecting us the most for a reason. Because the Most High, he gave us certain laws to live by that, we walk by the prophets of the Lord in the street, every weekend and we mock them. We don't listen to them. You know, we not giving a damn what they say. And because we're not giving a damn what they say, they tell us about, you know, not eating the pork, the shrimp, crab, and the lobster or whatnot, and not smoking. And we just disregard it and go home and continue to do it, which is leading for the Most High to say, all right, you know what? Check this out. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send a plague upon them. And that plague that we got hit with is the coronavirus.
Right.
And it's not good for us. It's not good. Definitely not good. Is there any more?
Slightly a little bit more, sir.
Go ahead, read it.
And their hurtful works are fulfilled.
Give me 16 and 5.
Oh God. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16 and verse 5. Plagues are sent unto you.
Read verse 4.
Oh God. Verse 4. A fire is set among you, and who may quench it? Verse 5. Plagues are sent unto you. And what is he that may drive them away?
Man, the plagues it's going to be plagues that's going to be sent unto you. And what is he that drive them away? Who is going to stop these plagues that the Most High sent unto you? Nobody can stop these plagues. Only thing that can stop these plagues is you listening to what the Most High tell you to do. Like, it's crazy that these plant-filled pork businesses got to get shut down and go out of business to avoid you eating pork. When it wouldn't be no pork businesses around if we just didn't eat pork.
Right.
A pig would just live on a farm, and every so often you would go by a farm and pay the farmer to allow the pigs to continue to do their job, what they was put on the earth to do. That's the only thing we would need them for. But because you got to get the pig slaughtered and you got to get it chopped up, and you got to get the pig, you know, served to you, where you can go home and cook it and eat the feet, the intestines, and the head and the tongue. Now the Lord got to give you and all your employees and your fellow employees coronavirus to stop that business that's the largest pork business supplier in the world. He got to stop it by doing that, by giving all the employees coronavirus. When they wouldn't have to get the coronavirus if they would just not eat pork.
Right.
We wouldn't have pork businesses around if we just didn't eat pork. But because we don't follow the law, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, he got to send the coronavirus.
Right.
You know, plagues every now and then to remind us that he's not playing.
Right. Right.
You know, every now and then a Christian want to get happy. Yeah, they eating pork and it is of the Lord. All they got to do is pray over it. I want to see you take a piece of pork that you know that's infected with the coronavirus and pray over it and still eat it. Come back to me without the coronavirus. Pray over it. This piece is infected with the coronavirus. I want you to pray over it, eat it, and prove you didn't catch the coronavirus after eating it. Come back to me. You could come back to me and do that, then we could talk. But until then, the Most High say don't eat pork. And it's a sin. And the more we continue to eat pork, the more the coronavirus is going to be around. The more we smoke weed, the more the coronavirus is going to exist. It's going to exist. You know? Trump giving us the stimulus check or whatnot, and gave out the stimulus check. I mean, it's good, but what can you really do with it? Catch up on a few late bills that you had after you pay off the bills. Half of it's still gonna have to go to groceries. Half of the money, whatever you want to do with the money. Yeah, it's a good thing. We getting the money. I'll take it. Take all the money that they want to give us, all the free money that they want to give us. I'll gladly take it. Just put it in my account. No problem. But it's going to be a point in time where all that's going to stop.
Right.
Just do what the Lord's saying. We wouldn't be in this, predicament that we in.
Right.
We wouldn't have to worry about no goddamn coronavirus, man. Coronavirus wouldn't exist if it wasn't for weed smokers.
Right.
If it wasn't for pork eaters and people that buy whores.
Right.
We wouldn't have to worry about no goddamn coronavirus. Let me get a time check.
Time check, sure, 8:53.
Most High Christ. No questions in the class?
Applause.
Did you read? You read that 16 and 5, right?
Okay.
Is there any more left on that?
That's it, sir.
All right, cool. That's it on that. All right, cool. Moral of the story: stop eating goddamn pork.
Right.
Yup. And of course, if they want this plague to go away, the Hispanics let the Mexicans free.
Right.
Right.
America doing a lot of things to oppress God's people, and the Most High see it. Yeah, the coronavirus is hurting us, the Black, Hispanics, and Native American Indian, and that's for our sins. But it's also hurting America for their sins that they committing against God's people. You want to stop this coronavirus? Stop sinning against the Lord and let free of all the God chosen people. It's just something simple. Just something simple. And then when this whole thing blow over, the coronavirus blow over, everything start to go back to normal. Later on down the line, something else gonna pop up.
Right.
Something else gonna pop up that we're gonna have to deal with if we don't get right. Something else gonna pop up. We've been dealing with plagues forever since Egypt, even before then. Go ahead, you got your hand up, brother?
You know what I thought about? So I thought about now that they really blowing up this coronavirus stuff, they have stores have everybody do things a certain way. They wear gloves. And one thing I realized about wearing gloves, if I don't have a pair of gloves on and I go to the market, and I can see things from a spiritual perspective, it's like more, that it gives them like a small advantage in my situation by their spirit being on me. If I don't have it, so now I'm going to keep love just like they do in my pocket and the mask that they have, and we go in there, just where they are, and that was how. This because I was able to see that when I went to McDonald's earlier. I was in Eddystone, and I walked up to 52nd Market, and I came back down here and stopped there in Chester.
Mm-hmm.
I went to McDonald's. First thing the young girl did before she accepted my money, said, "Oh," and we got some gloves, put some gloves on. So I took some gloves in my pocket and I gave her money. Everything that I was like, oh, right, her spirit couldn't linger on me. It couldn't. But if I would just gave it to her, I had gloves on, I had the gloves on, that gives them like, this is what I recognize. When people's spirits comes on me, whatever I do is good, and if I do something bad, that get their spirits off me. But I don't want to do nothing bad just to get their spirits off me. But whenever I do something positive, it makes I can't say that. It makes it look like it comes, because I'm not too sure what it is, but it makes it look like it comes as a result of their spirit being on me, but it's really not.
Yeah, and one thing was, go ahead, finish.
Nah, so that's why, I try to, like, what helps me is reading the Bible. Like, a lot, like, I keep a lot of the right spirits on me. Like, as far as, like, anybody who's sincere about God had their spirit come at the right time. Like, when I went to Delaware, I forgot the brother's name. I seen him at the right time because I needed to see somebody in the church. I needed to. And I know that was set up by the Most High. Because I just got out of rehab, and instead of the last time I got out of rehab, but I only completed detox. Last time I was in rehab, it was condensed. Came right out because I didn't stay there the full term because I was explaining to them that when I believe that God wants me to more only focus on Him and His miracle phase and catching up on where I just reaching a level that I should have been a long time ago in knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of His Word with the Bible and the Bible, apart from just, because He can help me do it all without programs. All I gotta do is focus on Proverbs 8:13.
Right, and also too, you don't want to think that without having gloves, their spirit gonna get on you. The only way a person's spirit can get on you is if you allow it to, and if you do what they do. Like I don't. Since this whole pandemic didn't happen, it's been like a month and some change, right? I haven't worn masks and gloves anywhere,
Right.
like nowhere. Whether I go get food, go pick something up, no matter where I go, I don't wear masks and gloves. That's just me personally, right? Their spirit not going to get on me because I'm not going to allow their demons to get on me. And I don't want to think like them. I don't think like them. I'm not them. I'm different. I'm different from them, meaning in the sense of I'm a priest and prophet of the Lord. I'm not going to walk into Dunkin' Donuts wearing gloves because that's not going to protect me from their spirit getting on me. Them gloves ain't protecting nothing. Them gloves ain't even protecting the coronavirus. Right. So it damn sure ain't gonna protect no demon. If them gloves can't stop the coronavirus, it's not stopping no demon.
Right.
Just plain and simple. As long as I keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, nobody demon can do anything to me or get on me, right. No matter what. With gloves, without gloves, with the biohazard suit, without a biohazard suit, your demon is not going to affect me because your demon is going to recognize that's somebody I can't mess with.
Right.
Or whatnot. Go ahead.
You're right, because about that, because I was, like right now, I'm basically kind of like poor in spirit. And so this is why it's able to happen to me that way. But the more I apply His word to my life and stay away from crack and all the other drugs that don't do nothing but destroy me spiritually, stuff like that, I'll be all right. I'll be on a good level. I'm trying to get to do that.
Listen, if you don't want to go back on drugs, continue to come here.
Right.
Like firsthand, I didn't witness it. I didn't seen the stories. I know the moment you walk in these doors and follow the Most High, and once you fall in order under command and General Yahanna, and which makes it so heavy because you talking to someone. In the world, I was a pillhead. My old man was a pillhead, and everybody know what type of drugs those pills got in them. But look at me now. I never looked back since I came into the truth.
Right.
But guess what? I know the moment I leave the truth, I'm going back to it. So to avoid going back to it, I am not going nowhere. Right. You walk through these doors, you do what you're supposed to, get in there all black, keep the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, become a trooper, graduate to become an officer. You do what you're supposed to, you ain't gotta never worry about drugs ever again in your life. That's the only thing you should worry about right now is just continue to come into class. Continue to come to class, and slowly but shortly, you're going to start to see the changing.
Right.
You're going to start to see the changing. You're going to start to see this fight get easier because you got brothers.
Right.
Because you got brothers who've been through what you've been through and can help you get through what you're going through. The more you walk through these doors, you're going to realize the fight is going to get way easier.
Right.
Just don't walk out these doors.
Right.
That's the only thing you got to worry about is walking out these doors. Because you walk out these doors, you're going back on drugs, which we tell everybody. You want to stay off drugs because the proof is in the pudding. You want to stay off drugs, you come into the ISUPK. You ain't got to ever worry about drugs, ever. Whatever you was on in your old man, whatever your old man was on, don't matter once you become this new man. You never was on whatever drugs you was taking. And that's the only thing you got to worry about. So what you doing, you taking the first step, which is the correct step, which is once you walk through those doors, that's the correct step. That's better than any program you could ever get on. Right. I'm not saying you shouldn't go to any programs, because just like we were earlier, honor the physician. Whatever programs you need to help you continue to go. But also, just like you make sure by any means you make it to those programs, it should be the same thing for here. Because eventually it's going to get to a point where you're not going to need the programs. Because the brotherhood, you're going to have the brotherhood. And once you become the trooper, you get your Hebrew name, become a new man, now you ain't got to worry about drugs ever again. Right. And you're going to be good. You're going to be good. I want to see you in here personally. Like just hearing your story and just witnessing it and knowing you a good brother. I can see you a good brother or whatnot. I want to see you in here. Right. I want to see you in here because why? It's more brothers who's going through what you're going through and they don't know how to walk through the doors. Right. You could be the one to show them how. You could be the one that showed them how. You know what it do to you. You know how it can destroy you. You know how bad it is. And because you know that, you wanted to make a change in yourself. So what that make you do? Find change. You could be the one that help other brothers to come forward like, he totally understand what I was going through. Let me go talk to him because he knows. Let me go talk to him. And next thing you know, you got 1,000 brothers that's sitting right under you because of your story, because of the Most High in Christ. They help you. So it's no coincidence why you're here. You're here for a reason or whatnot. Just don't take it for granted. Never want to take situations like this for granted and whatnot.
Ask you a question.
Go ahead.
One question. It's the scripture that says, I believe it may be in Matthew, if I'm not mistaken. It's in the New Testament. It's in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. I'm not too sure, but I know I better say, he that loveth his life in this world shall lose it.
Right.
He that hateth his life shall keep it until life eternal.
He that loveth his life. You wanted to break down on that?
Yes.
All right, real quick, because we over the time, give you a little quick, brief little rundown. He that loveth his life shall lose it. He that loses his life shall find it. Meaning this, you love your life in this world, you're going to lose it. So in this world, in this society, if you love the holidays, you love the shrimp, crab, and lobster, if you love the philosophy and the doctrine that America push on you, you're going to die because of it. You're going to die because of it. Right. But if you hate what this society teach, if you don't love what this society teach, if you don't love what they push, if you don't love the fact that every time you fall into stress or depression, they tell you that weed is the way, because you know from firsthand weed is not the way, and it got to be something, a better answer than weed. When you go to find that, you're going to find your life. You're going to now learn how to live now. Instead of following what they tell you to follow, which is going to make you lose your life, versus I done smoked weed for 30 years to get over my problems and it still haven't helped. What other solutions do I have to find out? Then you stumble across the real solutions, which is the men of the Lord. Now you find that there is a better way, and there is a way out of this pit you felt as though there was no way out of. So now you didn't found your life.
Right.
Versus taking whatever the hell they tell you want to take. It's just natural to see that there's so many people when they go through issues, they turn to drugs or turn to whores or go to the Christian church. That you find this, you start to follow the same reason. It's no coincidence that I'm pretty sure that everybody, when they wanted to find God, everybody did the same thing, was go to church. They went to church to find God. Or when they got into a serious situation in life, they turned to drugs. You love this life so much, you're gonna lose it. Because you're following everything that you was told to follow based off of this society. Versus you didn't had enough. I didn't had enough from doing whatever the hell I was told to do in this society, and I'm still oppressed. It got to be a better way than this. It got to be a better way than me working 12 hours a day and still getting evicted. It got to be a better way than me going to work, have to deal with my boss, and coming home to getting high. It got to be a better way. Right. Then you stumble across the prophets of the Lord, and you realize, damn, this is the way. Now you done found your life. Now you can live. Now you live. Now you live. Is that it? Most High Christ. And with that, we're going to pass the class over to Priest and Officer Yediah.
Let's give Officer Yediah another strong hand. That being said, we're the I.S.U.P.K, start out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under command of General Yohanna, rule for new brothers. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. If they are here to be saluted only, they're here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After the month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe is a commandment. You can read about this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18 and verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 to 10. Ma'ishra, which means tenth in Hebrew. 10% of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the Treasury Department. Priest fund, free will offering for the priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give, I'll become a holy convocation. As you know, we got the Passover. The Passover has been postponed. I suggest keep up with Commander General Yohanna on the videos that he drops on Black Watch. Subscribe to Black Watch to get the updates from Commander General Yohanna. And remind all Akim and Akwap to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If any brother wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black, boot, shirt, headband, and scarf. Things like that, I imagine it needs to stand. Upon my conduct, we turn face to east. I'm going to do the Lord's Prayer in Hebrew. In the English. It's the Lord's Prayer. Abenau, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayat, Shamkat, Yahweh, Malak Wakah, Laba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayat, Aisha, Barataza, Kawal, Hayat, Bashamayim, Lathananau, Lakam, Ka, Yawam, Wasalakna, Kabawafna, Kasalakna, Kabawafyana, Wala'ah, Baba'ayana, Bonasayawam, Abo, Awashayana, Mayun, Ra, Kayat, Lakat, Kamalak, Wala'ah, what the power, La William, Amen. And in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. So be it. Sorry. Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute. Men of Israel, Abadim Shabbat, Admaj, Barak, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah Barak Thug. Yashimatah.
Yahweh, Yahweh, Bashem,